The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Chris Flaherty, the president and CEO of Clear Path for Veterans. Frank Malfitano stops by. He's the executive director of the National Grid Syracuse International Jazz Fest. And then we've got John Murphy, the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. And then finally, Ben Eberhardt, who is the co-director of Mid-Lakes Navigation, all in hour number 2 on The Local Show. And that brings us to Chris Flaherty right now. He's the president and CEO of Clear Path for Veterans. How are you, my good man?
I'm doing very well, and thank you again for having us here.
Well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate that. Got a beautiful property up there in Chittenango. That is just so picturesque.
It really is. Just driving down the driveway, it gives a whole new sense of calm, not only for all of us on staff, but most importantly for the veterans and families that we serve. So,
How did you get involved with the organization? What's your background?
So I'm just a native son of Central New York. Grew up on the North Shore of Oneida Lake in the little village of Cleveland. Graduated from Central Square and then went away to college on a Navy ROTC scholarship.
Oh, so you're really smart.
I don't know about that, but
What college did you go to?
I went to Duke, so please don't hold that against me.
Duke, gosh.
Interview's over already. We're 30 seconds in, right? So,
That's okay. Boy, that must be hard, though, come game day.
Did you have a concussion? Is that why you went to Duke?
That's great.
so then I was commissioned to Navy right after graduation and served almost 28 years on active duty.
Wow.
And then when I retired in 2021, I came home and, returned to, I still live on the North Shore of Oneida Lake. And back in Cleveland.
Back in Cleveland.
Nice. And my ClearPath story started at the very beginning. One of the inspirations of our co-founders was a young man, Army Sergeant Eddie Bolin, who was killed in Afghanistan in November of 2010. When he came home, he's buried just less than a mile from the property in Chittenango.
Okay.
I know the Bolin family, so I happened to be home on leave 2 weeks after we cut the ribbon on the facility, and Eddie's mom took me and introduced me to the co-founders, and as I like to say, I've never left. And so while I was on active duty, I served on the Veteran Advisory Council and the Board of Directors, and then I joined the staff when I retired.
What a beautiful property. What a beautiful view.
It is, yeah. It's a special place.
All right, so how long have you hated golf? Because you killed the golf course.
Well, we still look on it and think about it.
Give us a rundown of what services are provided through Clear Path for Veterans.
ClearPath takes a very holistic, whole person approach, not only to the veteran themselves, but however they define family. That could be by blood, by marriage, or my next door neighbor who's like a brother or sister to me. So we do everything from across the full spectrum. We have an internationally accredited service dog program that helps those veterans who may struggle with post-traumatic stress or military sexual trauma or traumatic brain injury. Our frontline services our peer mentors who go and meet veterans wherever they are, be it on the street corner, at their dining room table, or any place in between, and just provide them with whatever they might need. That could be help with navigating the VA system. It could be housing insecurity, food insecurity, or let's just tell stories and be together. And same goes with family. We also help with career services, so helping not only help a veteran become career ready, but also partner with many of the companies that you feature here on your show and help them become veteran ready. So you bring that together.
So the VFW back in the day was kind of that camaraderie place. It became maybe, at least for non-veterans like myself, more of a place where you would rent the place or they would have a bar and have chicken lunches and dinners and things like that. So part of it is camaraderie, but part of it is functionality.
Exactly. And I think the best way to describe it is a sense of community. So, again, VFWs, they're in just about every community, same with American Legion posts. But what we feel ClearPath does in a unique way is build that sense of community so that it's open to everybody. And the way I like to describe it is people talk about the civil military divide. You can't bridge that divide from one side or the other. You have to do it from both sides. So you're bringing the community together. And that goes back to our founding. We were founded by two sisters who had no military connection who partnered with a veteran. And that's that defines everything we do.
Yeah. Am I right in remembering when we interviewed your chef? What's his name again?
Chef Michael Sheets.
Yeah, Michael Sheets. Did he say that anyone can come up for a meal?
Exactly.
Like you don't even have to be a military person.
Correct. And it's about that sense of community. So every Wednesday, we host a complimentary luncheon. So on Wednesday this past week, we will have hosted and provided over 300 complimentary meals.
Unreal.
And that's every Wednesday. So every
for
week.
Who is it complimentary for?
So that's for veterans, their families, and neighbors, the community at large, again, with the sense of coming together. So a little different than what your experience was at the VFW, where it was veterans together, and now it's everybody together at the same time.
Oh, wow. I think that's neat. So what did they have for dinner? What do they serve? Like, your chef's amazing. What do they do?
He is. He varies from week to week. Some weeks we'll have comfort food like tomato soup and or sliders or something like that. Or other weeks we'll have a carving station of, pork loin and things like that. And so our culinary team puts out over 500 complimentary meals a week.
Okay, so tell us what you brought so YouTube listeners can see. There's some. What do we got here?
Yeah, compliments of Chef Mike and the team. You have some deep fried raspberry cheesecake.
Oh my goodness.
With white chocolate drizzle.
Oh my gosh. We'll see. I'm sure there's no carbs or gluten.
No. This is
pretty incredible. Do you ever do anything with Tunnels to Tower?
We do. In fact, they have a race just recently that completed that will stop at Clear Path, and we honor the fallen. And again, it goes back to many of us, myself included, know those who have fallen. I mentioned Eddie Bolin, who is an inspiration. There's many Gold Star families here in Central New York, many of them that may be listening, where every day for them is Memorial Day.
Right.
So Clear Path. Okay, so my son is just getting out of the Air Force. Well, sort of, kind of. He's going to go reserves. He's been in 4.5 years active and served overseas and stuff. So right now, one thing he doesn't have is a clear path. He doesn't know really what he's doing. And he's probably not alone in that. Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Okay, so how do you make the path clear?
And I think it is just by those connections that we were talking about. Those connections may form over food. They may form over dogs. They may form over this beautiful property we have. But it begins with a conversation and that shared experience where, say I meet your son and we just start talking. I was a Navy guy. He's an Air Force guy. But maybe we served in the same place, had the same experience, to find that connection. And then from that just simple conversation, we'll see where it goes. And that's where I think ClearPath is very unique too, in that you don't need anything to come to ClearPath. Okay. He served, just come and hang out. Come and enjoy the view. Come and grab a free meal.
Because he's confused. That is what he would need.
And you have peer mentors as well up there, right?
Right. And so all of our peer mentors are veterans themselves from all different years, all different experiences, so that we can make those connections and figure out, meet your son or meet any veteran where he or she may be, and then we'll go from there together.
Well, we hear great things about the organization, and we're glad that we can help you get your message out. Information at ClearPath, 4vets.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So ClearPath for Vets, 687-3300. If you want to call and say, what's on the menu, or just ask questions. Thanks for coming.
No, thank you so much.
And please make sure you say thank you to Chef Michael for us, okay?
We will indeed. Thank you so much.
All right, Chris. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Frank Malfitano. He's the executive director of the National Grid Syracuse International Jazz Fest, and he's going to be right here on the local show on 570 WSYR. Don't go anywhere.